This is the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
G'day, Sean McManus here. On February 24, I'm doing my first ever solo swim in this year's Rotto Swim. It's a 19.7k open water swim from Cop Beach to Rottnest Island. That's, of course, if you go on a straight line. This is my road to Rottnest.
All right, Shawnee Mac, day 2 swim prep, countdown's on. We're going to touch on nutrition
Yes.
in a little bit, but let's go with day 2 of Hell Week. What was day 2 of Hell Week and how'd it go?
Okay, thanks, Ross. So, anyway, I left here as soon as we can.
You were out the
I was-
second you finished that show.
It was so good. So as I was driving to Claremont Pool, so on Tuesday, Thursdays, we're at Claremont Pool. So as I was driving to Claremont Pool, I'm looking in the back seat of my car for my swim gear because I'm just thinking I'm going to park as fast as I can, zip in there because I don't want to be late. And I have been late just every day since I've been swimming with this group, just trying to get through. Anyway, so I'm looking and I realise I can't see my swimming equipment at all, none of it. I then went, okay, must be in the back because I've got BT50, so it's in the back part of the ute.
Yep.
No worries. So when I park the car, I open up the tray, it's not there, so I'm panicking and I run into the the aquatic centre anyway, pay me money to get in and charge to the to where the pool is, and I'd realised that I'd left my gear at Bold Park the day before.
So you have no swim gear, you need to be training. What do you do?
I just had my cock jocks on under my shorts, which I chuck on in the morning.
You did it.
Yeah, I still got them on.
I'd believe that, but... Oh, okay, so you're wearing your swimmers.
Yeah. So
Okay.
anyway, I took my gear off and I said to Kindman, who's the coach, I said, "Oh, Kind, have you got any gear? I've left everything behind." And she fumbled through a bag, pulled out a pair of goggles, a pool buoy that you need, and then she went through this big tub thing that she's got. Anyway, she threw a whole lot of gear together.
Yep.
And I grabbed it and I jumped in and I was behind everyone. And there was this real Brutus of a swimmer that I swim with regularly. His name's Marcus, and he's just a big mountain. He does everything so easily. And they had done probably about 400 metres warm up. And I jumped in and I was able to do 200. And when I'd finished the 200, he goes, "Are you all right?" And I go, "Why is like that?" He says, "You're breathing like you've just run a marathon," because I was just all out of whack.
You were all rushed and...
Yeah.
So you screwed up in the warm-up.
Yeah. But after that, I fought my way back and, got through. So we did 10 400s today,
Yep.
which gives you 4Ks and a warm-up and different drills of 500 at the start and then 500 at the end to kind of bring it back down, so 5Ks.
10 400s.
Yeah, it was nasty.
How are you after each 400 and what's the rest between?
Oh, yeah, so each one you keep checking with yourself. They weren't maxed out, so the first few, they were with a pool buoy between your legs. It gives you flotation.
Yep.
And hand paddles to really drag the water. You go faster, and it's really big on your shoulders. And then the next two was no equipment, and you just kind of holding on. And then so it's a set of 5, and then the last one was max out. So
you go as hard as you can.
Yeah, I reckon I could probably conserve myself for the first 200 metres, and knowing that then you go, okay, this back end I can go faster, and then the last bit you always, for some reason, isn't it amazing? You can always find some extra when you think you're absolutely
Goggins,
cooked.
40%.
Yeah.
What's the rule? 40%.
Yeah, if you when you think you're really fucked, you're only 40% fucked.
Put it on a bumper sticker.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So
that was it.
When you're done with that, you just like wrecked an acid going everywhere in your body. Were you cooked? You need it.
Oh, today I wasn't, and I think maybe because it was a build-up of time. So the first two weren't as hard. The next two were really hard, and then it was flat out. And the rest in between probably, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds. 15, might have been able to drag 15 seconds out of one or two. You know, when you kind of cheat to make it longer.
Whole 5 seconds.
The
rest.
last one in each set, it was about at least 30 to 45 seconds before I took off and went hell for, relatively hell for leather.
Let's have a chat about nutrition and what are your thoughts and what do you do? And how do you tackle that?
So when I was swimming throughout October, November, December, I was just eating as much as I can. And I'm trying to eat reasonably healthy, but it wasn't a concern because in swimming, and particularly swimming distance, you need to have body fat on you, otherwise you get cold and hypothermia sets in. So I've been wary of that. But since we went on the Christmas break, I've really thought, you know what's worked for me in the past, and that's eating well. I've dropped a few kgs, so I've got to be mindful of that. But my nutrition is pretty much set in where I'll have 2 protein shakes a day, one in mid-morning and one probably mid-afternoon. I start the morning off by having a creatine drink, which is anyone you can buy that from Woolies or Coles or whatever, or any of those supplement shops. You would have had creatine, Ross?
Yeah, a long time ago. But could you explain just very quickly what creatine does for you?
Creatine is a little powdered form chemical, I guess, that you can buy from any of these shops. Yeah, I just put it in a small cup of water, and it's like I'll say like a crushed up Panadol type of powder that you see, and I just splash the water in. I just quickly swirl it and I just scull it really quickly. It doesn't taste great, but you get it down. And creatine helps your muscles have a lot more fluid going through them, and it's good for recovery. So it creates water retention in your muscles. So when you're under pressure or dehydrated, you've got some water in the muscle belly, and if you're stressing your muscles, then you're able to keep feeding them to make them stay strong, I guess, and stay hydrated. Hydration is obviously a big thing, particularly this time of year with summer. When I get home today after this, after I have lunch, and I might just get a roll or something, and I'll knock down 2 fish oil tablets, 1 multivitamin, and 1 magnesium.
All the pills.
Yeah, I've just started doing that, and hopefully that will just help me with, just the 1%. Yesterday, after we finished talking here, I went home and ate, and then I know this is not part of nutrition, but then I went to the gym just to do some build the small muscles in your body for swimming that might be able to give me, 1% boost.
What muscles?
Particularly lats and the small other muscles in your rotator cuff.
Yep.
Because I tore my rotator cuff, or one of them, last about 18 months ago, and I was going to have an operation, but then I was able to get through doing some rehab stuff. So I'm really mindful of, if I don't keep up doing those types of things, then I'll just be ruined, you know?
Okay, and so magnesium, fish oils, just touch on why those things you have.
Well, I think the fish oil is supposed to give you clarity of mind, and it's good for brain fat, as we all know, with fish in particular. So the oils, and I'm waking up most mornings pretty tired. I mean, I'm coming in here and doing our show, and you can be foggy at the best of times. So hopefully that'll help me think clearly.
But you only missed 1 sports report this morning.
Yeah, that's not bad.
That's good for you.
It's coming down. So the magnesium helps with cramping as well. It's one thing that I've struggled with over the journey. So the magnesium will certainly help me. And the multivitamins, a lot of people do take multivitamins. They might be deficient in a few areas. So one thing that I haven't tested, Ross, which I need to go and get tested from a blood test, is see where my testosterone is. Because the older we get, particularly the males, our testosterone level drops. And it's something you can, with natural remedies, you can pick up and get back to a level which will help me produce the goods day in, day out when I'm swimming.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Just finally, the day before the swim, you might not have an exact plan, but what are your general thoughts on nutrition the day before the swim and, say, the morning of?
Everything's going to be carbohydrates based. I do have a lot of gels that you can get from bike shops, and little jelly bean type lollies that you can get from bike shops as well, that I will be using as carbohydrate intake during the swim and swim practice as well. So that's my main focus. It'll all be about preparation for the day, and the drink bottles that I'll consume that might just have a liquid in there, like I might mix a Powerade with a carbohydrate gel, just mix it up. So I'm getting food, so to speak, and I'm getting electrolytes in. But everything will be about, I'd imagine pasta.
Yeah.
Which that will be the scenario.
The inner Shane in you that we call the food beast would be quite happy about. Sorry, one last one. Once you've done the swim, obviously the beers at Rotto Pub, but what would you recommend nutrition-wise if you were being strict and healthy directly after such a big event?
The main thing is you can eat as much as you want, really.
Yep.
In footy, after a game, they'll have pizzas out and something you can consume really quickly. And certainly, the Powerades and the Gatorades of this world, and just drinking as much as you can to get your fluid intake. And the calorie thing doesn't really matter as long as you can get in there and feed your body as much as you can.
You've earned it.
You have. But, Ross, I wanted to say there was an interesting thing that really got me this morning, because I was really flustered when I got to the swim, because I didn't have my gear, as I said at the start. And it was quite amazing when we were doing the 400s in the first block, and it got to a point where mentally I'm thinking, and this is hard. I don't know if I'm getting anywhere. Do I feel like I'm swimming well? All that kind of stuff.
Mental stuff again.
And Kindman, the coach, I could see her yelling at me after halfway through one of the 400s, and it seemed positive, but I just kept going. And then I got to the end. She goes, "You're swimming amazing." And
Really?
what did you have for breakfast? And I was like, I said, "I don't know." She goes, "You're doing so great. Now stay on Marcus's hammer."
Yep.
And then we were off again. That was all she said. And I was
Yep.
thinking, I started swimming again, and I think, am I going that good? And
So internally, you're like, this is no good. But someone outside of you is saying, you're on.
yeah. And then the next 400, I swam really well, and I was all over this guy's feet, which is not great when you're touching someone's feet because you don't like that.
It's weird when you
Yeah.
touch feet anyway. Do you think her saying that made you even better after that?
100%.
Wow.
And she said it, and then we finished that first block, and she was going, "That's great." And then the other guy, Marcus, "Geez, you're swimming well." Now, I didn't think that at all. And it's amazing the self-talk, which I reckon it really got me on Sunday when I was swimming at Cottesloe Beach. I defeated myself a couple of times. And it's the negative person comes into your mind so often. I got to get rid of that, and that's the case for all of us. But just by her being so positive, and then the guy I was swimming after, as I said, Big Marcus, and he was saying, "Geez, you're swimming well. Gee, no, you're going well." And next thing you know, when I did my next 400 and the next 400, my whole body language must have changed. I swam strongly. I didn't feel as tired, and mentally, I knew that I could get the next one and the next one and the next one, and.
Amazing what one thing can change your whole mindset and your performance.
Yeah, big time. So I was thinking, I've got to be, there might be people who's swinging around our workplace, because this can be, there can be a lot of negative things thrown around this place.
In the Nova offices.
Absolutely.
What are you talking
Everyone
about?
wants to sledge each other at the drop of the hat. But, just by having somebody being positive around you, geez, it really lifted me, and I wasn't expecting it, and it was and because of that, I was able to get through. I was wrapped. Something I took away from today, I was thinking, mate, I've got to be better at that around here.
Should we try saying to Nathan and Nat something positive? I think.
No, it won't be work with them.
No, get shot down.
But
real
me
quick.
and you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Zach, who's recording this with us. We can help
he's
him
doing
out.
a great job
Isn't
today. Yesterday wasn't his best day. If you muck up, but today's a better day. Well, glad you touched on that. Tomorrow we're going to do day 3 of Hell Week and touch on the mental aspect of this, maybe some of the things you've learned along the way, and the self-talk as well and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do that. Good
Cool.
on you,
Thanks,
Ross.
Shawnee.
See you, mate.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.